idea I've had is to discuss the difference between the different kinds of martial arts businesses you're going to run into. And the biggest distinction is going to be the McDojo, the strip mall dojo, versus the private instructorship of some master in his backyard who isn't particularly interested in marketing. This is the stark contrast. You know, it's literally your Cobra Kai versus your Miyagi. Here's the thing, there's not really a right answer when it comes to this question. There really isn't. There's not an answer of this is the way to do it, this isn't the way to do it. There's a whole range of practices and benefits on all sides of the spectrum. So, using the stark contrast, you have your McDojo. It's your typical strip mall, pay a fee, take a class, go home kind of thing. Now, doing this, you're going to be paying, generally speaking, you're going to be paying somewhere in the realm of $100 to $300 a month for for basically rank progression lessons. And that's it. You're going to learn how to punch and kick, and if it's a jiu-jitsu class, you're going to learn how to roll, and you're going to progress seemingly quickly. There's going to be a lot of belts. You're going to pay for every little thing, and you're going to come and go as it were just another business that you were doing business with. And that's okay. For a lot of people, that's where they start in the martial arts. It's where their parents decided to go because, well, it seemed safe and conducive and there were lots of kids around. And so it gets people into the martial arts in the first place, and that's a huge benefit. How many of you got into martial arts, into your first martial arts school because of a strip mall gym? Now, on the other side, on the cheap quality but also cheap price side, you've got your extracurricular school programs. I mean, of course, wrestling and boxing are common over here, and there are some other arts that are common in other places in the world. You have your YMCA or other health club and boys and girls club type classes where you can go and take a class. Those are usually going to be smaller classes, and the instruction's usually not going to be world class or anything, but it'll give you a taste, and it's usually going to be fairly cheap. Probably not going to see too many high-level competitions or anything like that, but it's a place to go and get a little healthier and study and all that. It's, once again, it's the only start that some people get. Now, if we travel a little further down the line, you get to your privately owned martial arts school businesses. Not that the others aren't privately owned or whatever, but these are people that have put in time and effort and money and have built up a school and a reputation and expect compensation for what they do, but at the same time they are expecting you to be a dedicated student. These schools are kind of the middle ground, and they don't spend a lot of money on advertising, they don't spend a lot of time trying to market everything, they have nice, if not large, facilities. They have relatively quality instruction. You will have access to decent level competition to get you in somewhere. Get a little bit of a name for yourself or whatever. You will certainly be paying good money for these classes. And once again, that's all well and fine. If you're looking for quality over quantity, this is the kind of place you're going to go. You're not going to be focused on moving up through the ranks, you're going to be focused on the quality of instruction, but like the McDojo, you're still going to be paying for everything, just a little bit more because the quality is more. Now we go one step further and you have like your world-class gyms where you have, championship instructors or instructors of champions. These are the guys who may or may not have a fancy gym, may or may not have all the amenities, but they're the guys who know the instruction very well, especially in the frame of competition. These are the guys who will get you where you need to be. Once again, you are going to pay through the nose. This is like getting a high-paid personal trainer. Hard to get in these schools. They cost a lot, and they cost a lot for a good reason. It's not just the expense, but they cost a lot because they don't want just your average Smo who isn't interested in the art coming across the street. They raise the price because they want to see some dedication right up front. Now, the last step, and I'm broad swath categorizing here, the last step is going to be your in-home instructor. It's going to be your Miyagi's. It's going to be the guys that have not secret styles, not family styles or anything like that, but the guys that have invested so much but simply aren't interested in running a business. They're in it for the art. They're people who have remained amateurs in the true sense of the word. They are in it for the love of the art. And these guys are oftentimes going to be your best teachers. They're not always going to be willing teachers. You may have to do many things to prove to them that you're worth being a student. You may find that it doesn't cost money, but it costs a lot more in time and effort and dedication and chores and whatever else you may have. In these, you will find perhaps the very best instruction, but you will also find that you're once again not really competing. You're going to these for learning, for not even necessarily the academic side, but for really the whole human experience of what it is to be a martial artist. And so you take your pick. These guys are also very hard to find because they're not running a business, they don't advertise, they don't have marketing campaigns. You just happen to stumble on them in conversation or recommended by a friend of a friend of a friend who knew their cousin whose sister was once brothers with the person who used to do it. And so you find this person and you go through with it. Each of these places has something to offer for different levels of interest, for different caliber of students. It all just depends on what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish. And like I said, without the cheap and fast McDojos of the world, many people would not have even gotten into martial arts in the first place. So I can't knock them. It's not my way, but I really can't knock them because they do serve an important role in the community. So it's just a breakdown, it's an idea. I mentioned this the other day on my family video. To me, it's important to build a family, and there are ways that you can kind of middle ground this and get that hermit master in the woods idea and the McDojo idea kind of at a meeting ground in the middle, running certain types of qualification and acceptance programs, boot camps, trial periods. So that's it. And I guess that's my cue to stop talking because the dog is now playing with her toy. So I will talk to you guys later. Good journey.